as we were discussing in our previous episodes with our lovely full moon and the partial eclipse, all of those of you who have welcomed yourself back home, you know that you're wanted, and that is from within your body and your mind. So enlightenment and forgiveness and taking the lead as your own feminine, masculine in harmony. It is a time to remember. Na, 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 na. So your childhood, very clear for you. And so is the fact that you are worthy. That's why a whole self is what we have. That's the narrative, the solo, the relational, and the core. There's no part of you that is unlovable anymore. That's where you take that to a therapist. You become yourself with love. And now you're ready to do more. So to do emotions, and you can review your responsibilities because you can review all the emotions that come up with the mindset of inner growth, and then mindset practices, because you can feel the sensations, images, affects, and meanings and behaviors without being reactive. You don't go offline, you don't have the yellow or red, okay? So you do what you need to do when you go through emotional and mental moments, and you know how to use healthy self-worth coping and more than just coping mechanisms, because as you move forward with the mindset practices and mindfulness and mindset that help you to expand your thoughts and emotions, they move into the depths of you. And the depths of you is where your mental, emotional, physical mastery allows you to create heart-to-heart relationships. So tapping into your masculine and feminine, they're harmonized, the wholeness. And that's why that enlightenment vibration keeps you completely on a high and speaking your truth with intimacy by being yourself with you and others is really fun. So the heart and mind of you are having a good time as you walk a walk and talk a talk with spirituality and mindfulness. It's being self-aware, accountable, and regulating. So the skills are applicable consistently because of your integrated brain, flexible, adaptive, coherent, energized, stable. So ascension energies come up, you don't have destabilization. If you need a mentor, that's to support you to continue to master today, as that day to day will continue with unknowns, uncertainties, and unexpected. So you use practices to speak with kindness, with neutrality. You can use the universal love transmission sessions that we have. There's some for free, and that's for personal development focus, okay? So you do things with the capacity to feel and be good with all of those 6 basic human emotions, okay? If you want to still call them laundry, then we have more therapy, might be ideal for you alongside, because it means that you're not fully on board with knowing that one, life is always with unknowns. That's why our body knows that the world is not safe. It's a safer, meaning the sky can fall, okay? So your secondary human consciousness. But that you can do quote unquote hard things. It is not impossible as it may feel. Really what it is you're going to work to say emotions, I'm gonna get to feel them as not hard. Thoughts, I'm gonna get to feel them as not hard. When softness settles in, that's when you're going to know how I feel every day of my life, for example, which is blissful. And that it's okay to be misunderstood. So when we have perception, it is not always based on truth at all. We have subjective experiences. And so some people, they will not open their hearts. They don't want to have a heart-to-heart relationship because they're not emotionally available. So you will have the courage and take heart to know that you have hope, meaning that you know there are human beings who evolve and expand consciously, and they have true love in their heart because they're embodying forgiveness, they're embodying consciousness, they're embodying being a safe haven, secure base, they're embodying healthy self-worth, mindfulness living. So it's not just the mouth, it's not just the laundry, they're embodying being empowered people. This is something very beautiful, which is why. So mentorship is extra for those who want more, because you want to do practice. Like with my back exercises, I'm not as effective as I want to be. I like to do them daily, but I don't always do them. Why daily? Because my body completely benefits from them. So you'll know that you benefit from doing daily mindset, and mindful practices because you get different perspectives. And you get to engage with different pieces of consciousness, because we can only think in ways that our mind conceives the thoughts. The feelings, they're basic, but still we might use different words. And so when you write out, writing is a really good way, because the narrative with the emotion, with your objectiveness in the present moment, the prefrontal cortex will allow you to reach out to you and to the safe haven, secure base, intelligent, expanding people, so that you, one, don't go it alone, but that you also flow with the rhythm. And so this is the part of where in our lovely 5D ascension energies, you're building the relationships based on how you want to live your life. And the rhythm and flow is of the 5D frequency. And that is because of the capacity to speak your truth with intimacy. So you're able to be vulnerable because you have the integrated brain, the restorative embodiment, and even if you don't have it settled in, because the whole settling in, I know that there's a bunch of different therapists that talk about you're engaging with life, which is exactly why spirituality is a lifestyle, mindfulness a lifestyle, inner growth lifestyle, means you put it into practice when the emotions arise, when the thoughts arise. And so with that being said, the people who we will tend to overestimate, it's not because we overestimate, it's that some are not embodying their self. They don't have wholeness yet, okay? So they don't know enlightenment, they don't know forgiveness, they don't know that they're wanted, and their vibe and their mannerisms is what will come forth, which is why we thank our oversoul, because our oversoul, through their way of choosing, will give us the opportunity to never, ever, ever settle for those who don't want to vibe at a high, because you're choosing the frequency that you live life towards. And it's not because of necessarily having a belief system or not. Like the Zen master, he chooses to use the word laundry, which means to me that he doesn't have the capacity or desire to allow emotions to be felt with the word, the vulnerability, so they're not speaking a truth with intimacy. When you speak a truth with intimacy, it means that you can share that it's deep, but that it's meaningful, and that it has this way of enriching you. But it's because you embody the experience. That's also why you'll know when you meet a liar, quote unquote. So the liars are the ones who are not embodying the depth of the consciousness that they can, because their inner child is not an adult. It's not even in the present. They have an unlovable and or more part that they're hiding, and they're a narrow state of consciousness. The energy will give it away, not the words. The way that they approach topics in life will give it away, because their nervous system is what they're vibing. So you'll meet people. When you're a feminine, you'll know what I'm going to talk about if you're a feminine. The masculines, they can only notice this, what I've noticed as a feminine, from my subjective Maria mystic experience. The masculines will only notice what I'm about to tell you if they're empowered with unconditional love, to the extent of knowing that no one chooses any of that trauma business, okay? So they're grounded in humbleness from the top down to the bottom up, and so they have compassion completely, and not criticism or rigidity, but for the feminine, when we encounter the masculine, we'll know that they can tap into the infinite potential. So the first immediate interactions that I have with a person, I will see them in their full conscious, beautiful. As they begin walking a walk and not talking a talk, I'm also going to interact with their nervous system, which is going to be having, one, the chit chatter, but also their pattern. However your first 3 years of life worked, plus those 8. So your unconscious, subconscious, your inner child's going to come up. If it's not an adult, it means your body, your heart, your mind, so your emotions and your thoughts are not yours. You're not wielding it. You're not an enlightenment, expanding piece of consciousness. You're not somebody who knows yourself. I'll notice it because I'll notice how you talk about life and yourself. So again, I'll notice if you are empowered with your words, or if you feel that you are a victim of circumstances with your words and your energy. That is what will tell me that I have overestimated you because of, again, me being able to tap into the expanded version of you. Because whenever we meet anyone, again, you're not going to know how they navigate life from their nervous system. It's only in time that I'm going to be able to see you walk and, again, see you talk and interact with you. And it's by interacting with you that I'll know that you are a humbug, or that you are a flake, that you don't know anything about how to be empowered, and that you don't want to learn mindfulness, mindset, or mindset. And not because you need to have faith. I have faith. You don't have to have faith. These are practices that you can do all the time. Sadhguru talks to you about it, and he doesn't bring to you a belief system. He brings to you yoga. He brings to you how you can move into becoming that embodiment of what is pure energy. But see, here's where I bring to you, you can only own humanity, your humanity, when you own your sense of self. Use your human name. And that is the missing piece when I look at Sadhguru and everyone who's with him. I love that he is there because I know what benefit he brings to people's embodied lives. And also he does a lot for the planet. So I'm very enriched and happy to see that. But what I do notice is that we have people who are not embodying the complete awareness of their self as a person. And it's not all, but so here's the deal. Enlightenment, soul age group people, we don't bow down and we don't bow up. If you're a whole self, and that means you're a whole person with the emotional, mental maturity of you, you don't have I look up or look down. You have I look straight. I'm a mystic, remember? So for me, I'm a channeler. I have a direct relationship. That's why, person of faith, I feel lucky. Person of spirituality, I feel really lucky because I know Sadhguru's relationship. So I can relate to what I see, which is why I can relate to other people and say, nah, you're not the real deal. You don't know how to be embodying stuff. Sadhguru knows how to embody stuff. Yeah, totally. He's full of life. Your energy is telling me you're a scholar, which is why your spirituality is soul age group and not a enlightenment one, like the Zen master, because you have a small presence. When you're talking about anything, your small presence is going to be given to me, not because you don't mean, and no, your words could be more fantastic than anyone, but your energy is small. Because you didn't welcome all of you home. So there's some part of you in the right mode, because this is, again, I'm thinking of left chit-chatter, and that's what non-bilaterally scholars, they're all about linearity. They sound like little robots. There's no pizzazz, no consciousness. And so when I don't mean to be picking on this person, but their energy as they're presenting, you're not a Zen master to me. Like there's others that I don't appreciate them and their identities. This is what it is. I appreciate them because I know who they support. I'm saying a expanding piece of consciousness will know who's expanding and who's not. Sadhguru matches what I know about my relation because he's spirituality. In fact, if I went to a sciences person, and I do know their energetic, because I read the energetic imprint. So when I'm with my lovely scientists, smart men and women, oh, I love it. I love their humanity. It's all over the place. Their humanity is full. And they're soft, like Dr. Daniel Siegel, Bessel van der Kolk. Their presence, I can feel their presence and what they're sharing. But they're not spiritual. Then that is where, again, there's no competition at all. But if you're spiritual, like me, and Sadhguru, and you have a direct relationship, which is why I'm sharing this with my 5D mystics, because if any of you are 5D, you are going to run here. Reach out to me. is I see what 4D is doing. And every time I see them talking about twin flame and flames and all of that shit that they do, I'm like, man, they're missing out on so much by choosing an identity, number one, and that's ignorance. You're not noticing that you're locked in a little small cage. You didn't even go to therapy to get yourself online. You're just using your mouth, thinking you know everything like that other person. But see, the Zen master is way more Zen than any of these others, for example. And what I'm saying is not in the importance. I'm talking energy, presence. I'm talking how you'll perceive the person. So the Zen master has a good, yes, but his dealing with life, I can tell he has still that pain and loss from what he sees. So he judges humanity. I don't know what it is, but he has an opinion that is of people and life being broken. And so it's, again, that brokenness is where you're not in the Christ consciousness of what is an unwavering faith in life, where no matter where you turn, you know you have blind faith. Blind faith means that I won't be afraid of the unknown. I will have accepted that my fate is decided. And I did have my lovely conversation with God. This is why I feel lucky, because I said, I accept my fate. Here's my decision, and here's what I bring to you. Love, Jesus, and you, and those basic 10 commandments. The other stuff, I don't know what they're doing anymore. I just know they hurt people, and I don't do hurt people. I do love people. So I promise to love people, not to hurt people. And I don't have shame about it at all. And anytime somebody will want to make it their mission to say that I should want to have ill will towards people, I don't have any ill will. And the only two people that I was so upset about, that I also knew it was not a good thing, that I put in a little hate box. So my heart as an inner child adult is, I was like, I know it's not a good thing. I know that I need to work on it, but I'm not doing it now. It's not a priority. And in time, I did close those circles. So see, this is feminine. We know everything, and we don't stop walking because somebody, or however many, will throw shit at us, if you will. A broken heart. What broken heart? It's a muscle. Anybody know about muscles by any chance? So, spirituality, true faith, it's amazing. So if you're interested, again, come on over. We're not here to compete with anyone. I was just trying to describe to you all how when you meet those who embody themselves, and I'm excited for the future because we have a buttload of good therapists who are helping the people who want to own their solo self and their core and their narrative relational. So a person who say, yes, I want to be me, that's the person who's going to join. And some of them will have faith in spirituality and some won't. So we're going to see more of those who are embodying what I was trying to describe to you with Sadhguru, who embodies it. I embody it for me. I don't know what you perceive. You will perceive depending on what you welcome. So when people welcome all of their self, they enjoy being around a person who enjoys all of who they are in the absence of shame. If, on the other hand, there's aspects that are unlovable, so you have shadow parts or however they call that, then there can be areas that you're like, I don't like that. I think she's rude. I think this. I think that. And it's a feeling because you're going to say, I disagree with that. I don't. That is good. Become aware. You own it. You don't have to say bad. No, it's not. It's your own personal stuff. You get to expand from that. Like I get to expand when I have moments that I'm picking up on the stupidity of the collective. There's like the past 2 days I've been picking up on stuff. I'm like, okay, no, scratch. Why? Because I'm not here to share with you what I'm processing. I'm here to share with you what the collective of the 5D is getting the opportunity to do, which is to speak your truth with intimacy by being yourself, which is a choice from the heart and mind. So you, the 5D mystic, full feminine masculine of you. That's who the collective here. Welcome aboard. You'll be resonating and enjoying, and that's because you're an independent thinker, feeler. That's differentiated selves, and also because nobody is setting down any rules. It's a conversation, and when there's messages, even if it's channeled guidance, it will still be an interaction. You take what resonates and you leave what doesn't, and you also get to know the person who's the host. If I am going to be your mentor if you're going to join our masterclass or the spiritual retreat. Basically, you're going to be here because you want to be here, not because you need to be here. It expands you. It adds value. Your inner and outer well-being are priority, and you're not here to look fancy. You're here to embody. This is the most majestic of one of those cards. I have so many, but if you look at this, and it's not even embodying the fullness of what you perceive, because we're in the year 2024. This makes me think of Bambi times. And we're not in Bambi times. We're more of, I'm going to have to think about Sadhguru. He embodies a lot of what I feel because of the rainbow. When I hear about Krishna Lila embodies the playfulness and seriousness. And think of a 3-year-old with a adolescent, that essence, so emotional spark, social engagement, true relationships, novelty, creative expression. Okay, so it's of now, of our year of now, mature human beings, not teenagers. No, with an independent 1-year-old, because a teenager has a journey for a reason. Their brain is going through specific things, which is why you won't be here until after you finish those frontal lobes. Like for me, my clairs, they came online around that 27. Although I had been already having clairs, I just didn't know of them, so I ignored what it was. But my mind's eye has always been active. So thank you again for stopping by, and have fun with these lovely energies, speaking your truth with intimacy and being you, and building those lovely relationships that I know in time, as well as careers and projects, will bring to you all of the bliss and the enjoyment, and then to share it with the world, and for us to continue using our 2 hands and 2 feet to hopefully tomorrow we all wake up and our loved ones wake up, and we get to do something to work with our economic system, our environment, the politics, all that stuff. And we do it having fun, because who needs any humbug? Let's the humbug people can do humbug. We do the laughter, joy, and the embodiment of our humanity. And that's thanks Dalai Lama. It's not because we don't see what the suffering bit is. It's because we know how to calibrate and use our mindfulness, prefrontal cortex, the mind sight, restored embodiment self, aware, accountable, regulating. And so it's not pretending to be happy. It's not pretending to be mad. It's owning your emotions and then calibrating the nervous system. So I can thank my panic attacks, which is the hardest part, quote unquote. But yeah, that is the most, and see, today, ask me, go back, change. No, I know how they helped me. I'm not kidding with you. This is not a curse though. The feminine laughs about this. And this is why every time something's like, going differently, I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. I know that's eventually you're done with the, you're done with mental, emotion, physical mastery, and you're like, yay, okay, cool. And so again, in another lifetime, I'll do it all again, the same, it's good, cool beans. But the future is different, by the way. It's spirituality, Sadhguru's last lifetime. I know why, so we won't talk about that now. There's no need. We're still in the year 2024 again. Intimacy, speaking your truth. Welcome aboard. It's a fun place to be, and we will be back potentially with some more. Thank you for stopping by. Like, share, and subscribe. And if you do know people who enjoy 5D Mystic, self-help, mindfulness, spiritual content, but also practices, and our holistic involving all of it, you can ask me questions. I don't always like to list all of it. What does it mean? I have plans, but I also don't have it written down yet. So again, thank you for stopping by. See you again.